Happy Wednesday, happy waiver claim, practice squad Wednesday to you all. You're watching Ravens Rundown. I'm your host, Joey Peterson. We got a full show to get to, so let's talk about it. We're talking waiver claims. We're talking practice squad. A lot of things have been happening. Not everything's sorted out yet. We'll talk about what we know right now, and then a new information came out today. Is Lawrence Guy headed back to Baltimore? Could there be a family reunion at the bank? Who knows? Maybe. We'll talk about that later in the show. We are 8 days away from kickoff. And speaking of 8, Lamar Jackson. Do you guys think he will have yet another MVP season? Does he have it in him? Third one overall? Second in a row? If you think so, use the like button as a voting method and go ahead and click that like button to vote for Lamar Jackson. Next, let's go to our waiver claims. Who did the Ravens pick up? Nobody. They claim nobody. Little joke for you guys. Having fun here on Ravens Rundown. 0 claims. They weren't the only team, right? Almost like, I want to say there were probably 10 teams that didn't claim anybody at all, and the Ravens were one of them. Didn't pick up anybody. I don't think this is that surprising. We kind of knew from the last couple of weeks, not a lot of things happening, that they probably were just going to roll with the squad that they had. Looks like they're doing that. Jeff's right back with the tweet saying they'll find out, this was before the deadline, in the next 30 minutes, who or so has cleared waivers. We know, didn't pick up anybody. But then here comes the next part. They then can begin forming a 16-man practice squad. Of the 16 spots, 10 of them have to be rookies or second-year players. The other 6 spots can be occupied by veterans if you so choose. So let's get into the practice squad signings, because as we sit right now, there are 9 Ravens on this practice squad, so 7 spots left. Going in order of when they were announced, CJ Ravenell. It's always great to have a guy with the last name Raven on the Ravens, even if he is a practice squad member. Devin Leary. I thought yesterday was going to be the last time I ever had to talk about Devin Leary, and that was probably ignorant of me. I knew deep down he's going to get signed to the practice squad. He's on it. We're not going to talk about him a lot, I promise you. This today, hopefully, is probably the last day we're talking about Devin Leary, but he did get signed to the practice squad, as well as Darrian Dalcourt, Ka'Dar Hollman, and our man Dayton Wade. Dayton Wade made it, everybody. I know he didn't make the 53-man roster. I'm upset about it. I know you're upset about it, especially judging by the comment section. But hey, he's on this team in a sense. And who knows? I hope there's not an injury at some point in the season. But that's kind of unlikely, right? Injuries happen to every single team in almost every single position. So there's a chance we see Dayton Wade at some point in the season. And I just like that he's staying in this organization. Who knows what can come of next year? Who knows what can come out of the year after that? So Dayton Wade, one of the guys signed to the practice squad. The next 4, and the last 4 that we know as of right now, are John Kelly, Chris Collier, Malik Cunningham, and Joe Evans. John Kelly, I want to take a little bit just to talk about him for a second. I just love the fact that when we signed him 2 weeks ago, myself included, none of us thought he had a chance, A, to make a roster, and probably B, to make a practice squad as well. But, man, he played really well in those preseason games. And, of course, Owen Wright got injured, so that helped him get this spot on the practice squad. But man, just congrats to him on making this practice squad as a veteran. That's kind of pretty hard to do. And so John Kelly, Chris Collier, there's a chance that we might even see them in some regular season action, depending on how Rasheen Ali's injury status goes throughout the next week or so. Malik Cunningham, super happy he's staying on this roster. Was a quarterback, you know the story, turned to wide receiver. Showed lots of flashes athletically over the past, couple of months with the team. And just really excited about his potential. Think he got a good one there. And so that's it. That's the 9 we've got as of right now. I've got Jeff Zrayback's Twitter loaded right next to me to keep you updated if there's any decisions. But I want to know, before we move on and talk about Lawrence Guy, how excited are you that Dayton Wade is on this practice squad? I expect to see 10 after 10 after 10 after 10. But you guys let me know, weigh in for me in the comment section down below. Now, before we move on, I have to give a big shout out to the sponsor of today's video, and that, of course, is Factor. Eating better is easy with Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals. Every fresh, never frozen meal is chef-crafted, dietitian approved, and ready to go in just 2 minutes. You'll have over 35 different options to choose from every week, including Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Also, there are more than 60 add-ons to help you stay fueled up and feeling good all day long. What are you waiting for? Get started today and get after your goals. My favorite thing about Factor is the fact that they've got 2-minute meals that you can fuel up fast with Factor's restaurant quality meals that are ready to heat and eat whenever you are. Guys, we work long days here at Chat Sports. There's a lot of times that I don't get home until 6:30, 7:30, and my wife and I love that we can get a healthy meal that's going to be good for our bodies and also taste delicious. We love that we can just pop that in, 2 minutes later, we're eating. That's what I love about Factor. Head over to factormeals.com/RavensChat50 and use code RavensChat50 to get 50% off. That's code RavensChat50 at factormeals.com/RavensChat50 to get 50% off. Guys, Ian Rappaport was busy on Twitter today. He's going to be busy on Twitter for the next couple days with all these waiver claims and moves. But he said, reunion? ? The Ravens are hosting veteran defensive lineman Lawrence Guy for a visit and workout today, sources say. The longtime Patriots starter spent 2 seasons starting in Baltimore. Some potential help with the season looming. Let's look at his time in Baltimore. It was a long time ago, 2015, 2016. I could drive one of those seasons. I couldn't drive another one of those. I'm not going to age myself, but you guys can do the math. 46 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 4.5 sacks. It was one of his best seasons in his career. Happened to be with Baltimore. 28 tackles in 2016, 5 tackles for loss, and a sack. He also joined in 2014, but joined a little bit later in the season. And so these are the 2 full seasons that he had with Baltimore. And he's had a pretty fine career and solid career after that, right? 2023, 48 tackles, a tackle for loss, 60 tackles in 2021, 57 the year before that. He's just a really consistent veteran that the Patriots have been able to lean on. And I know it's been a long time since he's been in Baltimore. And I know he's getting up there in age, but I still think he can be a helpful piece. It is a little random, I will admit, but I do still think he could be a helpful piece. It's not like interior defensive line is the biggest weakness on this squad. I wouldn't even say it's a top 5 weakness on this squad. But you always are going to want help and depth when you can get it, and I think that Lawrence Guy can provide that. Again, he's not going to challenge for every single starting rep out there in a game, but he's still going to be a guy that they can throw in there on second, on third down, and he'll be able to make some plays from time to time. And he's familiar with the area, familiar with Baltimore, and us as Raven fans are all familiar with him. My contract projection for him, and this is what I like about it a lot too, it wouldn't cost you a lot. I'm thinking a 1-year deal, maybe $1.5 million, could even be less than that, maybe 2 years, $3 million. He's never made over $2.5 million in a season. And so I think that, or excuse me, that's his average that he's made throughout his whole career. It's just $2.5 million. So I think he could be a great piece. I think he could come as a cheap price, and we all know the cap space left for the Ravens is $5 million. And so you can't do much with that. You could get Lawrence Guy, however. So should the Ravens bring back Lawrence Guy? What do you guys think? Let me know down there in the comment section. Type Y for yes. Type in for no. I wouldn't mind it. I think they should do it. I don't think it's going to make or break the season, but go ahead. Eric DeCosta, John Harbaugh, you have my blessing. Thanks so much for tuning in to today's show. I will be back tomorrow, as always, right here on Ravens Rundown. So make sure you hit that subscribe button because we are only 8 days away from the regular season.